Good evening and welcome to this edition of ArtScape. We have the distinct pleasure of being joined today by Professor Bert Cross, a professor from Howard University who conducts the very fine jazz vocal ensemble SaaSy. Bert, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Randolph. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure having you. Bert, tell us a little bit about SaaSy, how you got started with them, the style of music they perform, their venues, and any other things you'd like to share with us about the group?
There are three groups here at Howard University, vocal jazz ensembles, and SaaSy is the all-female group that's here. The other group is Whole Lotta. It is a mixed an ensemble of both vocals of where music majors, non-music majors, male and female. But SaaSy is all female vocal jazz ensemble. In fact, they had the name before I got here, that SaaSy means S for soprano and alto, alto, and S for soprano again. And somebody had the clever idea of adding the letter Y with it, and that's how we came up with the group SaaSy. But SaaSy is a unique group because that means now we get to explore ranges that normally you would hear with a vocal jazz group with male voices in it. So that means our altos are able to sing low and our sopranos are able to sing high. So that means that now we have ladies now that's giving us this full range of sound that can be explored, in a group, in a jazz situation that's normally, that would be with a mixed group.
Right.
Also, we use instruments where most times the main group here at Howard is an a cappella group.
So that's Afro Blue?
That's Afro Blue.
Okay.
But SaaSy, we use instruments. However, we do some a cappella pieces and songs, but we kind of like pushed with more of the instruments. Our students are really excited about being in SaaSy. SaaSy is, we've got a chance to perform and go on tour last year with the concert band. We were able to be one of the featured groups for Jesse Jackson. We're being asked to perform a lot now in the DC area, especially here on the Howard campus. So it is really an honor and a pleasure to actually be in this position to be the director for that vocal ensemble.
Tell me, are the girls who are members of SaaSy all music majors, jazz studies majors, or are they students that can they audition from any school or college at the university?
The audition process goes as follows. Anybody can audition for it. So majors or non-majors. That's for all of the vocal jazz groups. We choose, there's a panel where we actually choose the students from that we would like to participate in the various groups. In my group, the current group, at this particular time, we have 2 non-music majors that are there that came in from the colleges on campus, but the majority of them are music majors. We're not going to discriminate against non-music majors, but when you do music at the difficulty and at the level that we perform at, a lot of times you want to have people that are a little bit more involved, hands-on, right there with the same focus and energy that the music majors would be able to demonstrate.
Great. Now talk to us a bit about the repertoire, the material that you've chosen to teach the group. I mean, it's just so varied. We can go from a jazz standard to a old school R&B piece. Talk to us a little bit about your repertoire.
Oh my goodness, I knew this was coming. We at Howard University, and when I say we, I'm also talking about the jazz faculty here. We kind of like to personalize everything that we do here at Howard. Miss Miller is over Afro Blue. She personalizes the music for Afro Blue.
She sure does.
I personalize the music for SaaSy. First of all, I have all ladies in the group. Sometimes songs are in keys that will not demonstrate the power and the strength of SaaSy. It's stock arrangements, what we call vanilla arrangements. So I'm fortunate and blessed where I can arrange for a particular situation. In this particular situation, it happens to be for all females. I know what sound I'm looking for them. I know what key sounds best for a particular thing. I know what the highs and the lows are going to be. But I also like that special uniqueness that we have as African Americans that we bring to jazz. That a lot of times that will not be explored or demonstrated in stock charts. This is something I would really like to talk about it probably at another date, is how these charts, how these arrangers come up with these charts that's for widespread distribution. A lot of it is to make sure that it will meet a wide range of audience from easy to difficult. In this particular case, I don't have that problem. I have a bunch of talented young women, and we need arrangements that would just show the abilities of those young ladies. So I've written a couple of songs. I'm gonna do more writing. I do most of the arranging of standards. And like you said, we did do I Believe I Could Fly. We wanted to have that. I have an arrangement of At Last. I have an arrangement of Lift Every Voice and Sing. We Shall Overcome. You want to have some standards, but we also do stuff like My Friends, Nat King Cole's Unforgettable. Stuff like My Funny Valentine, which I think you said you were really impressed with.
That was my favorite at the concert.
My Funny Valentine's, just
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Oh, your looks are laughable, unphotographable. Yet you're my favorite work of art. Doo-doo is your figure, less than Greek is your mouth, a little weak when you open it to speak. Are you smart? But don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine.
unforgettable. We always want to make sure that we have standards, so that means I would like to arrange them with a certain color and a certain feel that that the girls can will enjoy, as well as the expected audience. Like, I didn't know that, you know, when I was writing my Funny Valentine, I didn't know that you would like it, or it would go over as well as it did. It was just my ideas. This is the way I think that it should go.
Right.
And we're still working on it, but that's kind of my take on how I come up with these arrangements for SaaSy.
Okay, question. Do you have any plans for recording in the near future?
Yes, that is going to be the next thing. SaaSy traditionally has not been the recording group here at Howard, but because of performances now, because the desire for the department chair and the vocal jazz coordinator for SaaSy to be more of a performance group, now it looks like that's kind of dictating whether or not we should go in the recording field. There's going to be some additional training that's going to be required because, you know, we only have them for a limited amount of time. And recording, when you're talking about recording, that is a different process altogether. So we're going to be looking for recording. In fact, this is our 100th year celebration here at the Department of Fine Arts.
For the founding of the music
For
department?
the founding of the music department.
Actually, I guess it was the conservatory and then School of Music
I'm
and later
not
department.
sure.
Yeah, it's something like that.
I'm not sure. I just know this is the 100th year, and we have had a busy first semester, and we expect, you know, something similar. And so I would like, this would be a great time for SaaSy to record during this 100th year celebration. So we're going to be looking at avenues and ways in which we can make that possible during the next semester.
That's going to be very exciting.
Thank you.
How do you maintain a viable audience for SaaSy, considering that the size of the audience for jazz in general is so small?
That's a good question. One of the good things about SaaSy that really grabs the attention of people immediately, they see it being an all-female group. So that's unique within itself, the fact that it's an all-female group.
So that draws attention
That's
right
attention
away.
immediately right there. Oh, all female. That's a card that we could use.
Now, does the fact that you integrate different genres of music into your repertoire help?
Yes, I would think that would be the solution to keeping jazz alive. So that is the reason why we have taken it upon ourselves in the jazz department to make sure that we expose this music to the next generation. So even I'm under a mandate that even in our general music classes, like a whole lot of that, I'm supposed to expose.
Now, a whole lot of, meaning the whole lot of jazz singers?
Jazz singers, that's the mixed group here. That's
the large group.
That's the large group. Sometimes it's a choir, 20 to 30 people. I have to expose them by letting them hear the jazz masters. So when they walk in the room, we'll have jazz. We'll take a 5-minute break in the middle of class and let them hear jazz. And as they're departing from the classroom, we'll also expose them to some of the jazz masters.
So they're learning the standard jazz repertoire.
Yes.
And being exposed to those epoch-setting musicians.
Yes, that they probably wouldn't discover on their own.
Right.
But now that's just for this one class. I really have this philosophy about jazz and what's happening to jazz, especially now, especially with the dwindling audience. I think what happens is HBUs are going to probably need to start embracing this. There needs to be more than just Howard University and North Carolina Central with jazz degree programs, first of all. And so, and I think if we start embracing it more, I think the attention will be drawn to it more, because hip hop, they sample jazz artists. A lot of the you think about it, the elderly now, what we call R&B singers and stuff, they started as jazz artists, including James Brown, Maurice White. All these guys, they started as jazz musicians.
And some of them as gospel musicians.
A lot of them were gospel musicians. So, and as you can see now, by us going with the business of music now, what are the money makers? So people are going to be, they're going to be exposed to whatever is making the money. I think one of my professors said, follow the money. And that's where you'll find all of the energy and everything. And because this group could be very well be an R&B group, it can be a gospel group, but we're really pushing the jazz element here. And it's really strange that you would bring that up, because now jazz, while it might not be big here in America, it's becoming to be a large genre worldwide now.
Yes.
It's
the American audience.
It is the American audience
diminished.
that is not embracing it like it should be. But in Europe, oh my goodness, those people are burning in Europe. We've even had a couple of Asian clients that come over, because now we're seeing the Asian jazz artists now coming up.
Yes.
And it just begins to make you wonder, and that's the reason why you can see my passion now for keeping this alive here. And I'm fortunate enough to be in a department and at a school that want to keep jazz alive. And we have, great legacy here of musicians that have been at the school. So I do feel sometimes the pressure to make sure I can maintain the quality, sure that we can maintain the integrity of the music, and make sure that it's presented in a way that would be acceptable by both a younger and an older audience.
Howard University, for decades, Bert, has been at the forefront of jazz performance and jazz pedagogy at the most elite levels.
Yes.
And we are certainly looking forward to continuing this legacy and hearing great jazz music come from the Howard University Department of Music. Bert, thanks for joining us.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me. Let's start off with bass and drums. Ready?
But only the wise understand. it to be told. Each night's a deeper night in a world ages old. The cares of the day seem to vanish. The ending of day brings release. Each wonderful night is Rhodesia, where the nights are filled with peace. Where the nights are filled with peace. The sun never does it shine so bright. A night in Tunisia. Yeah.